What's up guys, Max here with a pretty big update to Season 3 of Killer Instinct, which is going to be coming up in about a couple months or so. And one of the bigger ones is in regards to a character reveal, a special announcement of mine, and stuff like that that's going to be happening with Season 3. Now, the big one, as we all know, there's a couple of confirmed characters in Season 3, the finished version of Rash the Battletoad, as well as the Kim Woo reveal that was at the end of the previous trailer. Those two characters are confirmed that are going to be in Season 3, but there was another that was announced that is pretty awesome, one of my favorite characters from the original Killer Instinct games, and it is definitely Tusk. It actually comes as no surprise, even when you initially find out that Tusk is like going to be a brand new character. It's kind of like, well, yeah, of course, Tusk has to be in Killer Instinct. But then you think about Tusk from the older KI, like Killer Instinct 2, Tusk was not in KI 1. You have to think about what's going to be preserved. He was a back-facing character. He was really weird is that he actually has the traditional wind kick that Jago does in this game. They modeled the animation off of Tusk's wind kick because Jago's original like Van Damme wind kick looked so weird on the current Jago model that they ended up going with Tusk's, which is really interesting. Other than that, Tusk had a lot of really cool moves between switching sides of the opponent. Back in Killer Instinct 2, you can kind of like hack at the opponent and then switch to the left side or like double up between like an overhead or something like that. He was really damn fun to play, and he would also do freaking shoryukens with a two-handed sword. He's a lot of fun, and even if his design is changed dramatically, we also get his like classic costume, I'm assuming, so we can get the classic Conan Tusk, but we'll see how much of that is preserved in KI, because you would have to assume that almost every single character, including Tusk, is going to be redesigned in some way, because everyone else has been redesigned pretty heavily amongst the entire roster. Now, there was a couple of other things other than the fact that the Windows 10 exclusive game is coming out in March 2016 for the PC version. There's going to be updated dojos, besides Tusk and Kim Woo. There's going to be more characters that are going to be at the launch of this season than there were at Season 2. So, Season 2, when it officially launched, had TJ Combo and Maya. We are guaranteed to have more than a couple characters at the launch of this season. There's going to be a lot more information coming up fairly soon. I'm also actually going to be hosting the Killer Instinct World Championship, or the KI World Cup, later this month in January, which will be really awesome. That'll actually be on my live stream and I'll be at the event. But the other big one is that there's a couple of characters that are amongst the roster that we already know in KI that are going to get heavily reworked. Now, the interesting thing is that there's a lot of, like, debate on who's going to get reworked. Is it going to be Omen? Is it going to be, you know, whether or not Fulgore is going to go through something dramatic with his meter difference because he has a very unique meter? Is it going to be Aganos? Is Aganos going to have, like, constant chunks on or something like that? But they already confirmed recently that the two characters that are going to get reworked are not Glacius, not Aganos, and not Shadow Jago. They've all been... Those three characters are kind of solidified. We're going to get some, I'm assuming, balance adjustments fairly soon for a lot of characters because Season 3 is going to bring a lot of changes to the roster. But Glacius, Aganos, and Shadow Jago are not going to be going through a heavy revision. And I'm only assuming that a couple of characters might be, and I'm thinking Fulgore could potentially be one of them because they might want to make meter more universal in the game. I don't know. This is a big assumption, and I'm thinking it's Fulgore because I like Fulgore a lot. Other than that, I was thinking it would be Glacius or Conra because they're very heavily like zoning style characters. Conra still is a possibility. Glacius ends up not being changed, so I don't know. We'll see. I was thinking also Aganos as well just because of the chunks and how difficult he is to kind of use, being a large character that doesn't do a lot of damage. But they even said that Aganos is getting a lot of really fine-tuned changes that are going to make him much more effective later on, which is good and also scary at the same time from the dudes that did get really good with Aganos. He is kind of a nightmare to deal with when you got people that are really damn good with the game. But other than that, characters are getting reworked. We got confirmation of Tusk. The last news and piece of information that I really don't want to like brag about or anything. I, as you probably expected, am going to be working on Season 3. I've already technically started on some stuff. I did the trailer for Rash that was earlier this year. That initially kind of like started the Season 3 like debut. And I will also be working on future trailers for this season, much similar to Season 2. And I will also be working on some other stuff in Season 3 that hasn't officially been announced yet. But I hope you guys do look forward to it. They're planning a lot of stuff for Season 3, and I'm going to do my best to provide whatever I can within video production to make it as cool as it possibly can be, and to bring as much hype and excitement to KI as it possibly can, which is my entire goal with everything that I do. As always, guys, thank you a ton for watching. Thank you for hanging out. There's going to be more Killer Instinct on this channel, including weekly weekly gameplay and stuff like that when those new characters do drop in March of 2016. So it's going to be pretty awesome. PC version and Season 3 is right around the corner. As always, dudes, let me know what you think of Tusk being announced for Killer Instinct. And stay tuned, there's going to be more at the end of the month for the Killer Instinct World Cup. My name is Max, and I'll see you next time.